Hey everybody, welcome back to another whiskey review. I am Eric here with Rabbit and Red Reviews, and today I'm going to be ushering in autumn, which is just around the corner, with Laphroaig, 25-year-old single malt Scotch from the Islay region of Scotland. As usual, I'm going to give you a nose, taste, finish review of this single malt whiskey, chat a little bit about the value, give you my final thoughts and a score, leave you with the malt musing. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Laphroaig in this 25-year-old single malt. So I have pulled the bottle out of this. And so Laphroaig is a whiskey that likely needs no introduction to anybody who is a fan of peated Scotch. Laphroaig is one of the biggest names in heavily peated smoky single malt Scotches. And this 25-year-old expression from Laphroaig is going to definitely live up to that name. So this whiskey itself is bottled at cask strength, which is at 48.9%. So this is the 2017 release of the Laphroaig 25. So let me tell you a little bit about what it says on here. So it says here, this extremely rare and unique liquid was matured in Oloroso sherry and American oak casks, bottled at cask strength. On the back, remarkable things happen when one of the world's most individual malts matures for a quarter of a century. The Laphroaig 25-year-old is an uncommonly exquisite non-chill filtered malt, a marriage of our signature Islay peat with sherried, oaky flavors from second fill Oloroso sherry casks and sweet vanilla notes from American bourbon barrels. This is a whiskey truly worth savoring. All right, so great news off the bat. This is a non-chill filtered whiskey, which always a plus. It doesn't mention anything about natural color. So we will assume that maybe they've added some color, but I can't just expect they've added a lot. It does come, however, in this quite imposing wooden box. You open it up, one of your little packets here that comes with all the Laphroaigs, just some kind of decorative stuff here. But this is a whiskey that, you know, a 25-year-old Laphroaig, not the easiest thing to come by. So I was very lucky to be able to get my hands on it and excited to be able to review this for you today. Being something that is aged as long as this has, I have poured it already in the glass. You can see here. I've let this sit for about 20 minutes to let oxygen really kind of work its magic to make sure we get everything we can out of this dram here. So let's hop right into it. First on the nose, I can smell it already. Peaty, wow, sweet. Wow. In a word, this is just really complex on the nose. That signature Laphroaig kind of medicinal sea-influenced peatiness, that earthy peatiness is there. But it is not overpowering like you get in some of the younger Laphroaigs. Usually as peated whiskeys age longer, that intense smoky peatiness can sometimes take a backseat to a lot of the other influences in here. And that's definitely what's happening here, but you're getting a nice dose of it for sure. The sweetness. Wow. Yeah, there's just a sweet that it's fruity, vanilla. It's surprisingly fresh for something that's 25 years old. Really jumping out, sweetness of vanilla, fruitiness, and I'm thinking like caramel apple, orange, lemon. It's also a bit salty, so there's kind of like a brininess to it. Wow. Good. There's also that kind of barbecue note, it's kind of like a meaty barbecue-ness. Toffee. And also that kind of sea, oceany note. So, you know, Laphroaig is being right on the ocean as it is on Islay. You know, a lot of their notes kind of, or a lot of their whiskeys kind of have this note of like sea breeze or kind of a briny, salty, maritime quality. You're definitely picking up a bit of that too in this. Seashells or something like that. You know what that smells like. Wow. Man. I could nose this for quite some time. It's amazing. So much happening. It's almost like every single time you put your nose in it, you get something else that just pops out at you. Getting a little bit of a chocolate caramel note now too. Rich, really rich. You can see the legs on this too. A little bit. They're taking forever to come down there. Okay, let's give this a taste. Cilantro. Medium body, oily, but very mouth coating. Right away on the arrival, fresh fruit, really sweet vanilla. Wow, as it develops, this thing really kicks into high gear. Apple, chocolate. There's even like almost like a little bit of a floral note happening in it. Wow, this kind of keeps going. Salted caramel, that kind of sea salt brininess, but just like right there with the caramel, there's an almondy kind of nuttiness to it as well. Really mouth coating, and you know, going into the finish on this, it's amazing. God, it just keeps going. Peat smoke. That signature Laphroaig peat smoke is there, but it is sharing the stage with kind of salty brininess again, vanilla, caramel again. There's also kind of a gingery, not like ginger spice, like gingerbread, kind of like baked gingerbread spice. Buttery too. A little bit of nuttiness, cashew. Wow. That finish is still going. This is one of the longer finishes on a whiskey that I've had, which makes sense. It is aged for 25 years at minimum. So, yeah, this is next level. Amazing. Again, going back into it, I'm getting more of like a grassy herbalness now. Peat smoke is still there, but I'm telling you, it's almost like it's in the background, just kind of popping its head up every once in a while. But so much just intense fruitiness, dark fruit, stone fruit, chocolate, caramel. It's all, none of them are really like overpowering each other. They're all just kind of working together. And you know, with older whiskeys like this, that's something that often happens. You end up with like, everything is just blended together so well, being married in those casks for so long that like at any given time, just one of the other ones is going to pop out and really be a flavor that you pick up, kind of dominates for just a couple seconds. And that's exactly what's happening with this. Amazing stuff. I am going to add a little bit of water to this just to see what else could possibly happen. Not much though. Okay. That citrus is kicked up a bit on the nose now. Lime. Orange. Like a tangerine orange. Gosh. I've never had a Laphroaig like this where the peat is there, but it's just not, it's not the thing that just is dominating the palate. I mean, there's not many Laphroaigs where the peat is not center stage. This is definitely one of them. Ash too, God, there's like a tarry ashiness from that peat smoke. It's just popping up every once in a while. It's really, everything is just so well blended together in this. Give it another taste. Again, initially on the palate, you're almost a little surprised at how kind of fresh and sweet, citrusy it is. But then you just hit these waves of just aged oak. You can just taste that, like, this is definitely an older whiskey after a couple seconds. Caramel, toffee, chocolate, coffee, hints of that oak cask. A little bit of it, almost like a tobacco note too. Yeah. Water, you know, definitely changes this a little bit, but it's almost hard to tell, considering that, you know, basically every time I put my nose in this to try to pick up what's on the nose of this whiskey, it's changed on me. It's just evolving in the glass. It's literally evolving in the glass. So a little bit of water, give it a shot. Neat, totally fine. But I definitely recommend leaving this sit in the glass for, you know, 15, 20 minutes at least before you drink it, you know, just to let the oxygen kind of open this up, because you'll really be rewarded. The complexity of this whiskey is next level. Citrus, chocolate, caramel. Gosh, the taste is almost went from a medium body to full bodied almost. This is special. This is a special whiskey. All right. So value-wise, and this, you know, to be completely real with you, in the U.S., this is a $400 to $500 bottle. It is, as good as this is, it is really hard for me to say that anybody should spend that much on a whiskey. This is the kind of thing where every once in a while, you know, you may find this on a shelf and it is just improperly priced. And if you can find it cheap, you know, it's your lucky day. Gosh, $500, that's a lot to shell out for a whiskey, just even being as good as this. So here's one more look. Laphroaig 25. 48.9% ABV. It's the bottle, it's the presentation. Amazing stuff. You know, so my final thoughts here, like, really, I mean, what can you say about a Laphroaig that's 25-year-old? This is a unicorn single malt, pure and simple. You know, because of the price, I really couldn't say that you should stop everything you're doing and buy a bottle immediately. But, you know, if fortune's wheel spins your way, you know, you end up with a little extra money, or you find some generous friend who's willing to offer you a sample of this, take it up. This is a can't miss whiskey. Just because of that cost and how just rare this is, it's really hard to say it's a go out and buy it now. So I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5, which is I highly recommend buying the bottle. It's a once in your life whiskey for most folks, including me. I was lucky to find this at a price that at the time I could afford. And, you know, I hope that everybody gets the opportunity to taste a whiskey of this caliber, especially if you are a fan of Islay single malts, peated single malts. Yeah, this one will reward you each and every time. All right, y'all. Sláinte. I'm going to kick you over to your malt musing. Thanks for stopping by my review of Laphroaig 25-year-old, and we will catch you next time here on Rabbit and Red Reviews.